All right, good afternoon. My name is Tim McGurthy. I'm the Executive Director of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau. I'm honored to be here today to be part of the Thomas S. Green Awards. This is a huge opportunity for the Research Bureau to acknowledge those who have given their life for public service, in many cases literally, it seems. And as a wannabe Thomas Green Award winner who failed during my 7 or 8 years to ever acquire one, I got to tell you how important it is and how impressive it is that the folks we're here honoring tonight have received this award. The 5 tonight make it 100 that the Research Bureau has honored since 1988, so it's a big accomplishment. This award really is about celebrating the vocation of public service, the commitment, the dedication, the passion, and the excellence. And there really are some great examples of excellence in public service here within the city of Worcester, which it happens this year that all of our awardees are from the city of Worcester, but also the Worcester region. And so we are glad to have this chance to honor them. And we encourage you as we go through the years, as we get to next year's, if you have people that you've interacted with, to make recommendations to the Research Bureau and let us know, because we want to make sure this continues. So with that, I want to turn the microphone over to Provost Frank Lazarus from Assumption College. Assumption has graciously provided the opportunity, the space here for us to have this ceremony, and has been a strong partner for the Research Bureau. We're here located on Assumption College's campus now, and Assumption has been a great asset for us as we seek to further our mission of improving public policy and governance. So, Provost.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Welcome to the college. We offer you a warm welcome today, and I'm glad it is a warm one because it's a pretty chilly day out there. We are proud to be the home of the Research Bureau and to host each year the Thomas Green Award ceremony. This award and its recipients manifest an important aspect of our own educational mission right here at Assumption College, because we strive to form graduates who will be thoughtful citizens and compassionate servants, right out of our mission statement. Each year, the Thomas Green Award recipients embody these same qualities, and this year certainly is no exception. We have wonderful honorees. Today's honorees don't see their jobs as simply confined to the 9-to-5 schedule, but rather they go beyond their normal responsibilities and hours to give of themselves fully for the good of others throughout our city and our community and the betterment of the region as a whole. Whether it's providing students with a listening ear or helpful advice, or perhaps designing facilities with the needs of those who will occupy and use those facilities in mind, or helping navigate cumbersome processes and rules and requirements so that worthwhile projects become realities, or again, providing such basics as books and coats for children, or understanding the importance of patience and finding a solution to someone's problem with regulation. Each of today's honorees understands that we are all called to live a life that is always centered on the other. On behalf of Assumption College and of our president, Dr. Francesco Cesareo, I thank you for modeling this for our community, what public service means, and I congratulate each of the honorees on the wonderful recognition that they're receiving today. Thank you again, and welcome to Assumption College.
Thank you, Frank. In addition to our strong relationship with Assumption, we're very pleased to have a strong relationship with the City of Worcester and the Worcester Public Schools. And with that, we have the leadership from both those organizations here to offer their words of encouragement to the awardees. With that, I'd like to invite Mayor Petty to the forum.
Thank you, Tim, and it's great to be here today. I want to welcome everybody here. I want to thank Assumption College for hosting the Research Bureau. Mr. McGurthy, wish you luck in your new adventure. Roberta Schaefer, who I saw early in the audience. And I want to thank the committee for doing the work today, because government's not an easy life, as you know. Easy targets for some people. But I'm pretty proud of the people of Worcester and our employees, who I'd be on the city side or the school side, because we're one family and we get the job done. And we have a lot to be proud of in this city. And it talks about some of the criteria here: high performance. It talks about being friendly, going the extra mile. But the people here today is really go-to people, really. You look at Sandy from Technical High School. I think Sheila, I saw Sheila come in, but I'm sure that you are her go-to person. Is that right, Sheila? Yeah, absolutely. And you get it done for the Technical High School, and the transition from the Volk School to the Technical High School, and all the awards, and all the people, all the visitors, the dignitaries that will be coming in the future, whether it be Colin Powell tomorrow and the President of the United States in a month from now, a few months from now. But Sandy, congratulations. Katie Donovan, who I know for years, her father, State Representative Bill Donovan, dedicated public servant himself. Katie, a go-to person, inspectional service, not an easy job. And you have to be the face of Worcester, and you do a great job. So congratulations to you. And Paula, it's amazing, volunteering, and you coordinate all the volunteers for the kids. And your hat goes out to the city of Worcester, and I want to say thank you for everything you've done. Really appreciate it. And Jessica tries to make us look good on camera, so I appreciate everything that you do. But and all the extra time you put in for us. And Kath, and Julie, Nelson Place School. I get to know Julie in the Nelson Place School and the work she's doing there. But you're pretty much in charge of doing all our buildings over. So and looking at some of the school projects. So I want to thank you. And you're a leader in the Nelson Place School, so that school will be done pretty well. So thank you. And with that, I just want to read a proclamation. Whereas the Worcester Regional Research Bureau was established in 1985 to conduct independent research and analysis of public policy issues to promote informed public debate and decision-making. And whereas, following Mr. Green's passing, the Research Bureau established the Tom S. Green Public Service Awards to honor Mr. Green and those public officials who committed themselves to the same ideals of service to the public and good of government. Whereas, in the year 2014, the winners are Sandra Barboni of the Worcester Technical High School, Kathleen Donovan of the City of Worcester Inspectional Services, Paula Harity of the Worcester Public Schools, Jessica Jakes of the City of Worcester Cable Services, and Julie Lynch of the Worcester Department of Public Works and Parks, each of whom have worked diligently for and on behalf of the City of Worcester. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Joseph M. Petty, do hereby declare March 26, 2014 as Thomas S. Green Public Service Awards Day in honor of many and varied accomplishments of these fine public officials. And before I depart, I just want to recognize Senator Moore and School Committee Member John Manfredo, who's in the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this point, I want to invite City Manager Ed Augustus up. I will say I had the pleasure of working with the City Manager for about a month now, and with the news we hear today, unfortunately it won't be for too long that he remains City Manager, but he clearly understands kind of the issues of government and what it takes to make things work. So with that, I turn over to City Manager Augustus.
I always do this before. Thank you, Tim, and I want to congratulate you, and I want to especially congratulate the Research Bureau Board for making the selection of you as the new leader. The board couldn't have found a more consummate professional and a more dedicated public servant than Tim, and I know he's going to take the Research Bureau in great new directions. I want to also say that it's such an honor to be here and recognize 5 dedicated public servants. Public service really is a noble calling. It's a very, very difficult thing for folks to get up every day and serve the public. It's often not in the most visible way, and yet they provide the opportunity for the rest of us to go about our life and have the luxury of not knowing government is there. We get up and the roads are safe to travel, the water is clean to drink, we go to school, and we don't always have to know that government is there providing those services. And these 5 people that you're honoring today are the unsung heroes who give us all the luxury to go about our lives, to have the opportunities to do all the things that we hope and dream, to go to school, to go to work, to enjoy our lives. They provide us those opportunities. As the mayor said, I've had a chance to know some of these folks long-term. Katie, I grew up with her and her family. Paula, I've known for 25 years. Talk about a big heart, making opportunities for kids who are disadvantaged. And the 3 other folks, Sandra, Jessica, and Julie, are people I've come to know in the last couple of months as my time as city manager. 3 consummate professionals. So you couldn't have picked 5 better people to honor tonight. I would just say that it is appropriate that as a community we hold up these public servants because they hold us up every day. Congratulations. Thank you.
And finally, while in government you sometimes feel like you're working with children, in the Worcester Public Schools you're always working with children, and that's always a challenge and a tough job, and so we appreciate that Superintendent Melinda Boone has come as well.
And now, as I follow the city manager, I get to do this. When I grow up, I want to be that tall. It's indeed an honor and a privilege and a pleasure to be here again to celebrate our public heroes for the work that they've done for so many years. And I want to congratulate the Research Bureau for now reaching a milestone of 100 people as public service employees in this community being celebrated and honored through this award program. And I have to tell you, I know the selection committee had the general criteria, but I'm most impressed that all of the recipients this year are women, so congratulations again. Girls rule. Like Ed said, and many others, I've had a chance to work very closely with everyone here and in a variety of capacities, and also to be able to have these women support the work of the Worcester Public Schools so that we do have seamless operations. And so I thank each of you from inspectional services. We have to have that every year to open our schools. Julie, again, the mayor has already mentioned the work that's going on with the project with Nelson Place, the North High School work. Jessica with cable services. I think we see each other a couple of times a month at school committee member meetings. And Sandra and Paula, I have a chance to work with very closely. And we talk about wraparound services in the Worcester Public Schools, and that's where we work to close the opportunity gaps for many of our students. And so I consider Paula to be our first wraparound coordinator, in that Paula's goal has been to be the coat lady, to make sure that our children have an opportunity to come to school warm. And on a day like today, we remember how important it is to have a warm coat. But she also has done the work with our Books for Babies program. Again, literacy starts very early. And the pathway to college and careers begins when a child is born. And so the work that we're doing, reaching out through the hospitals and new parents to be able to bring strong literacy practices. It's not just giving a book, but it's what are the practices that we do to help parents understand how to do that. And it doesn't matter socioeconomic status or educational level. If you're a parent for the first time, it's all brand new. And so we certainly thank her for that. Sandra and I had a chance to get to work very, very closely this year as we had to pull off a real celebration at Worcester Technical High School, and we had to do it in a very secretive way. And so when Tim talks about working in public government is like working with children, absolutely. The kids were wonderful to hide the information from. But Sandra and I had a chance to coordinate all of these national and state organizations and all of the local, state, and national leaders so that they could come and celebrate Sheila's award as National Principal of the Year. But what I learned so clearly, I already knew, her organizational skills and her hospitality and restaurant and program management skills are second to none. And that's why we were able to pull it off in a seamless fashion. And that's why whenever someone comes to visit Worcester Technical High School, they talk about the professionalism and when they've been able to schedule an event and be received at an event. So Sandra, we thank you. And to all of the recipients. We can't say thank you enough, but this is certainly a great milestone in your lives and know how much you appreciate it. And please, we hope you'll be back tomorrow. Thank you.
With that, I just want to recognize a few people who are here in the audience. As the mayor pointed out, we do have a number of elected officials here. I think it speaks to the kind of quality of the awardees and the importance of the award that we have a full house like this, standing room only. We have folks standing in the back. But Senator Mike Moore is here. School committee member John Manfredo is here. City Councilor Tony Economou is here. And former state representative William Donovan. And I don't know if I missed anybody, but if you all could stand for one moment and just get acknowledged. Thank you. I also want to point out that a number of members of the city administration are here as well. Paul Moosey, the new Commissioner for Public Works, David Moore, the city solicitor, John Kelly, the Commissioner of Inspectional Services, as well as a number of staff, Dory Vecchio, Russ Adams, and I'm sure I missed a few others, but I want to thank them for coming out as well, and spending Heather Gould, Mike Trainer, my successor as Chief Development Officer. So I want to thank all of you for coming out as well and taking part in this ceremony. And then I also want to recognize members of the Research Bureau Board of Directors. Karen Duffy is our chairman. She wasn't able to be here tonight, but I think we have a number of members. I saw Brian Thompson. If you could all stand, Gail, I think, is in the audience somewhere. But if you could stand, I want to extend my appreciation to the Research Bureau Board of Directors. Mark, Todd, A critical piece of the Research Bureau is it is private support for public effort. And I think it's illustrated by the members of the board who are here and their commitment to keeping this organization going. I also want to recognize any past Thomas Green Award recipients or any here in the audience today. Excellent. Mr. Manfredo. And finally, I do want to highlight Roberta Schaefer, who the mayor mentioned, who is here, my predecessor here at the Research Bureau, and her ongoing commitment to the work of the Research Bureau and the work of good government here in the city. With that, I want to turn to the members of the Thomas Green Awards Committee. This was a diligent effort by a group of people to review quite a few applications and try to pick the best and brightest that we now see sitting here before us. But Barbara Clifford was the chair of the Quarter 9 Chamber of Commerce, Neil Castronovo of Assumption College, Mike Grennan of Grimes & Company, Leah Lamson of the Worcester Telegram and Gazette, Joanne O'Leary of NSTAR, Karen Luddington of Children's Friend, Kevin O'Sullivan of MBI, Roberta Schaefer, Hank Stoltz of WCRN Radio, Bob Kennedy of Mechanics Hall, and Todd Rodman of Cedar and Chandler. I want to extend my appreciation for their time and effort to help us get to today's event. And our sponsors, the people who have been there supporting this type of recognition along the way. Assumption College, Beechwood Hotel, Checkerboard Limited with Arthur and Micah Chase, the DCU Center, Ecotarium, Hanover Theater, Mechanics Hall, Music Worcester, NSTAR, St. Gobain, Scharfman's, Sole Proprietor, Telegram and Gazette, Worcester Art Museum, Worcester Business Development Corporation, Worcester Credit Union, Worcester Historical Museum, and the Worcester Sharks. Each of the awardees is going to get a gift bag with various tickets and passes to events and activities around Worcester, so you can get even more involved and engaged in the city that you love. And I also want to recognize Senators Chandler and Moore and Representative Mahoney, who have brought citations from the Massachusetts Senate and the Massachusetts House of Representatives for each of the awardees. So congratulations. And two media groups that I just want to recognize, one of which Jess knows well, the City of Worcester Government Channel, which is taping this event for us today, and Penta Communications, who's helped us with the promotions. So with that, I think we should turn it over to the awardees and get a sense of who they are and where they're coming from. So first, I'd like to invite Karen Luddington of Children's Friend to come up and introduce Sandra Borboni.
Thank you, everyone. Dr. Boone and I have something in common, so I'm lowering this microphone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I am, as always, honored to be on this stage to recognize public service. It's such a pleasure to come here to thank outstanding public employees. Public employees sort of tend to be the Rodney Dangerfields of our workforces. They get no respect. So often, public employees hear only about complaints, not praise. They hear the criticism, not the thanks. And they should get our respect and our praise and our thanks, because every one of us counts on them every day to run our cities and towns and make our lives easier. And I think the city manager said that very well. I have the honor today to introduce to you Sandra Borboni. She is the head confidential clerk at Worcester Technical High School, and believe me, that title does not begin to describe what she does. When I met with Sandy, I asked her what inspired her to do the outstanding job that I'd been reading about in these letters of nomination. Her response, "I get pleasure out of helping people. Can you think of a better qualification for a public employee?" I was just in awe. Sandy was nominated by 3 people. 2 were her bosses, and that's wonderful, but it's not unusual. The third was a community leader who had become tremendously impressed with Sandy during the building of that beautiful new school on Skyline Drive. She watched as Sandy took on responsibilities way beyond her regular position. Responsibilities like coordinating with all of the departments in the school on the order and delivery of $9 million worth of furniture and equipment. This person nominating Sandy noted Sandy's exceptional competence, that's a quote, and another quote, efficiency matched by none. Pretty good. The principal and the director of career technical education in their nomination described at length how Sandy always finds time to do things like coordinating all the events, and they are many at that school, that take place at Tech. Sandy was described as warm and friendly. When she was telling me about her work, I was impressed with how much she does for the people with whom she works, even when that means going above and beyond. She admits to a problem delegating, because she just tends to get things done herself. There's the vim and vigor that was described in one of the nomination letters. The way Sandy summed it up is, life's too short to make trouble for other people. So she just gets the job done. Everything from fixing a coffee machine to coordinating millions of dollars worth of purchasing, from solving a computer problem to managing the student council funds. She loves working with the kids, and I'm sure that affection is mutual. Sandy won her school's Unsung Hero Award in 2007, and I'm only amazed that it's taken till now for us to recognize her with our Public Service Award. Sandy is joined here today by her husband, Joe, and some of her family members, and I know they are filled to the bursting point with pride. It is with great honor and great pleasure that I introduce you to one of the 2014 Thomas S. Green Public Service Award winners, Sandra Borboni.
Thank you. I'm going to embarrass my principal and wear my glasses. I apologize. Don't want to miss anything. I want to thank the Research Bureau for selecting me to receive this prestigious award. I am truly honored to be standing here this afternoon. I also want to thank the people responsible for nominating me for this award, Sue Mailman, Sheila Harity, and Kyle Brenner, and for not telling me that I was nominated. It was a nice surprise when the phone call came telling me that I would be receiving this award. I had no idea that I was even in the running. Thank you, Sue. I'm pleased to be able to call Sue Mailman my friend. I was first introduced to Sue by her father, Ted Coughlin. Recently, Sue has become more involved with Worcester Tech, and I have been able to get to know her better while working with her on projects at the school. Thank you, Sheila Harity. Sheila has been the principal at Worcester Tech since the new building opened. It has been an incredible 7 years, and I feel that I have grown professionally and personally while working for Sheila. She's truly an inspiration. Thank you, Kyle Brenner. As the new director at Worcester Tech, we've developed a great working relationship. Thank you for assisting with my nomination for this award, and thank you for your leadership and friendship. I would be remiss if I didn't thank Ted Coughlin. Ted has been a huge supporter of mine for many years. We worked long hours spending the millions of dollars that he raised for equipment and materials when the new Worcester Technical High School was being built. He taught me to be proud of the job that I do. He always considered me to be a vital member of the Worcester Tech team, and this award validates that. Thank you, Ted. I started with the vocational school system at Worcester Technical Institute. When the vocational school merged with Worcester Public Schools, WTI was closed and I was transferred to the high school. I was placed in the director's office. The director at the time was Peter Crafts. After I proved to Peter that I was not an airhead, he started giving me more responsibility. So he's partially responsible for the workload that I carry now. Regardless, I can't thank him enough for all that he has taught me. Thank you, Peter. Thank you to my coworkers who are here today showing their support. You are more like family to me than coworkers. You are the reason I enjoy going to work every day. I'm honored to call you my friends. Finally, thank you to my family. Thank you for being here this afternoon and showing your support. I'm blessed with a kind, considerate, and devoted husband that has stuck with me for 34 years and spoils me rotten. Thank you, Joe. I am also blessed with 2 wonderful sons, Josh and Adam. They make me proud every day. I have a new daughter-in-law, Ashley, and a soon-to-be daughter-in-law, Dawn, and they're both here. Thank you for your friendship, your love, and your support. Worcester Public Schools lists my job as confidential head clerk and administrative secretary. Worcester Tech has added additional titles. I think you've heard a few. Bookkeeper, student account treasurer, event planner, copier repair person, software support person, and mother to students that need a sympathetic ear, a reference letter, or maybe a little advice. I have a strong work ethic and a deep sense of loyalty to my employer. If that means taking on additional tasks or working beyond the normal workday, then that's what I do. Whenever someone else's goal may be, they can always use a helping hand. They might need assistance with pulling information together, typing a report, or assembling their project in a way that produces an efficient or thought-provoking result. Sometimes they just need someone to listen to their ideas and offer feedback. We are all pieces of the whole, and as team members, it's our responsibility to pull together to assure that the team is successful. I try to be an active listener, function as an active participant, share openly, cooperate, and pitch in, show commitment to the team, work as a problem solver, and show respect to the other team members. That's what team membership is about, and that is what makes Worcester Tech such a great success. I get a lot of satisfaction by doing my best at small and large tasks, whether it's setting up chairs for a function, drafting memos and letters, guiding visitors around our school, listening to students, or making sure everyone gets their supplies and materials on time. I try to do my best so that they can be their best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandy. Next, I'd like to invite Todd Rodman of Cedar and Chandler to come up and introduce Katie Donovan.
I'm really delighted to be here today to introduce Kathleen Donovan. Katie's being honored for her work with the City of Worcester over the past 19 years and for her current position as Land Use and Zoning Coordinator for Worcester's Department of Inspectional Services, where she gets to work closely with John Kelly, the Commissioner of Inspectional Services. You can read about the details of Katie's responsibilities in the booklets that you all have. I wanted to provide a more personal perspective based on my own good fortune in getting to interact with Katie professionally over the years as a lawyer practicing in the city of Worcester. In Katie's present job, she deals with the public on a broad range of real estate issues that come before the city, from the largest public projects like Gateway Park and the CSX freight yard expansion to the smallest renovations, residential renovation projects. Katie's the person you see to start the development process. When I met with Katie last week at the Department of Code Inspection to prepare this introduction, I had to wait for her while she patiently explained the city's zoning approval process to a young man, obviously a new immigrant to our city, who really was interested in a very small project but had no idea how to get started. Katie treated that inquiry with the same patience, responsiveness, and sense of urgency that she displays with much larger and more politically charged projects. While Katie's broad knowledge of the city's development process qualifies her for her job, it's really her patience, her creativity, and willingness to extend herself to find solutions to the everyday problems that brings her here today. I can tell you why, from a technical perspective, Katie's so qualified, based on the varied experiences that she's had over the last 19 years. From interning originally with then city planner Alan Gordon, to staffing the Conservation Commission meetings, to working for Paul Moosey at the Department of Public Works, to dealing with the things that she's dealing now and the operation of these various departments and how the city works from a practical perspective. Katie combines great technical knowledge with her problem-solving abilities and a commitment to public service that started with her family. She's the youngest of 5, with siblings who are police officers and teachers, among other professions. Her father was a state representative. Katie was an urban studies major in college, and her early post-college experiences included work with troubled young adults in a youth detention facility, probably not that different from some of the behavior that she deals with on a daily basis today. Consistent with her family traditions and applying her technical skills and knowledge to city government, Katie distinguishes herself every day by finding ways to help the public. In her own words, saying no is the hardest part of the job. She views her job as trying to find ways for projects to be accomplished and to make things work. And that really says it all. Congratulations, Katie, on this well-deserved recognition.
Thank you, Todd, for those kind words. I've enjoyed our working relationship over the years. I'd like to thank the Research Bureau and the Thomas S. Green Award Committee for selecting me as one of this year's recipients. I am honored to receive this award. Knowing the large number of hardworking and talented individuals that work for the city, I truly appreciate that I was chosen for this recognition. I would also like to congratulate the other recipients, Julie, Jessica, Sandra, and Paula, whose hard work in their respective positions helped to make Worcester such a great community. I'd like to thank Craig Blaze and his team at the Worcester Business Development Corporation, as well as my boss, John Kelly, for nominating me for this award. It's humbling to know that you find my efforts worthy of this award. To my husband, my parents, my brothers and sisters, and sister-in-laws, thank you for your love and guidance, for sharing in my accomplishments, for being my sounding board when I have a bad day, and for being supportive of the decisions I make. Over the course of my career, I have had the opportunity to work for various departments, which allowed me to work for some outstanding bosses and having fantastic coworkers. Their collective guidance and support has made me a better employee. Staffing several boards and commissions through the years, I have had the opportunity to gain knowledge from many people who volunteer their service and expertise to our city. I thank them for their wisdom and for their service. Through these roles, I have had the opportunity to both administer grants to preserve open space and be part of permitting many exciting development projects. I am proud of the role I have played in both. As Worcester continues to move forward, I look forward to many future challenges. Again, thank you for this award, and congratulations to my co-recipients.
Thanks, Katie. Next, Bob Kennedy of Mechanics Hall will introduce Paula Harity.
Thanks, Tim, and thank all of you for being here tonight. It is important that we continue to recognize public service, and we are recognizing today 5 great individuals who are leading our city forward. I have the pleasure of presenting to you today Paula Harity, a 27-year employee of the Worcester Public Schools who serves as coordinator of all volunteer systems for the system. Now, this sounds like a fairly benign task, but when you think about it, Paula's job is no easy task. Under her guidance, the volunteer program she leads places thousands of volunteers in support of roles in the Worcester Public Schools classrooms, after-school programs, and in the Adult Learning Center. It's kind of like herding cats. One of her many friends in Worcester calls Paula the best collaborator many in the community have ever worked with, in education or otherwise. As a result of her efforts, Worcester is known to have one of the best volunteer programs in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This success, however, is not the only reason, or even the main reason, we have chosen Paula to be recognized today. Paula is honored today because of what she has accomplished over and above her role as a coordinator of volunteer services. As many of you know, Paula and her husband David are the proud parents of son Tim Harity and daughter Julie Harity Burke. They are even prouder grandparents of Charlotte Harity and Megan, Matthew, and Finn Burke. When I asked Paula what has driven her to create the usually successful programs like Community Reading Day, Coats for Kids, and Books for Babies, she told me that her role as a parent and as a grandparent, she has always strived to provide for her children and now her grandchildren whatever they need to build a strong foundation for their lives. The programs she has helped create are extensions of that role in the larger community. Think about it. Community Reading Day is the largest effort to bring volunteers into the school to read to school children and emphasize the need for instilling that love, the love of reading in all of our students. I can't forget the time I went to my son's 5th grade class in Leicester to read, I can't remember the name of the book, but I've still got the thank you notes from the kids who were in that class. It was a memory for me, and certainly I hope an inspiration for them. Books for Babies takes that effort a step further by delivering a book for every brand new Worcester resident to emphasize to their mothers that education begins at home. When you think about this, think about you, if you're like me and Paula, grandparents, how many books your young kids get, your young grandchildren get, and what a gift it is for grandchildren who don't have grandparents to give them books. And finally, Coats for Kids, as we goes to a more basic need. When I walked in here today without my coat, which my mother would have yelled at me about, I thought, what would it be like if you went to school without a coat or without a warm coat to protect you? Well, Paula created this program about 25 years ago, and this year 2,200 kids got to school with a warm coat and hat. Over the 25 years, 48,000 kids have gone to the Worcester Public Schools in warmth because of a program that created in Paula's mind. And she does this selflessly, and for that we honor her. So we honor Paula today because she deserves to be recognized. Paula, thank you for all you do.
Well, it's been a very good year for Harities. Even though I am not technically a Harity, I am married to one. And no, I am not the principal of Worcester Technical High School. And do not call me for tickets to see the president in June. Can't help you. But if you'd like to donate a children's coat, I would be very happy to have it. And when I retire in a few years, Sheila, I told you they're going to be calling you for coats. So you have been warned. And when I meet people I do not know, and they say to me, "You look like a Harity. Which Harity are you?" I tell them I'm the oldest and most beautiful Harity in the school system. And it totally ends that conversation. But seriously, I would like to really thank the Research Bureau for this award. And I would like to thank Barbara Drapos and Louise Clark for nominating me for this award. I have had the pleasure and honor for the past 27 years to work for the Worcester Public Schools. It's a job that I love very much, and I thank Superintendent Boone and I thank the school committee for allowing me to do this job that I have loved so much. I am very proud to have worked on the programs that I have worked on over the past 27 years. The Coats for Kids program has helped so many families to provide basic essentials for their children to come to school. And that program started because teachers told me that if it was cold out and kids didn't have a coat, then they didn't come to school. So that was my call to duty, and we established the Coats for Kids program. This is also the 4th year of the Books for Babies program, and at this point, we have provided probably 2,000 new mothers in Worcester with books and packages of information about the importance of early literacy. It is so important that this all starts at home, and this is the hope of the Books for Babies program. We will start to see some of these kids coming to school, and hopefully we will begin to see all children coming to school reading ready and prepared for their education in the Worcester Public Schools. I would like to thank my family, my friends, and my colleagues for this support, because none of this would be possible without them. And also, the programs that I do in the Worcester Public Schools would not be possible without much community collaboration. For instance, the Assumption College Reach Out Center every year provides at least 40 children with coats in the Worcester Public Schools. And the Worcester Credit Union, of which I am on the board of directors, has always been in the forefront of helping the Worcester Public Schools. And I don't want to forget to mention, excuse me, the RSVP program. Barbara Drapos, her staff, and her thousands of volunteers that come into the schools every day and work on the Story Train, Books for Babies, Coats for Kids. The list is endless. And by the way, unless Congress has a change of heart, we may not have that program in the city next year, because due to the funding for next year, 70% of RSVP programs in the country will be eliminated. I love this city. I love Worcester. I have lived here my entire life. It is truly a city with a small town feel, and I can't imagine being anyplace else. You never have to look far to find somebody to help you when you have a job to do here. I am very humbled and honored by this award, and I thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Paula. Next, I'd invite Joanne O'Leary to NSTAR to come up and introduce Jess Jakes.
Good evening, everyone. Our next recipient is someone who knows a lot about tonight's award ceremony and has been an active participant in the past years. In fact, because of her participation, we're actually able to archive last year's ceremony or the year before and to watch them at our leisure. Although she wasn't born here in the city and she wasn't raised in the city, she does now call Worcester home. and she knows the ins and outs and what's happening at City Hall, in the city, and what's posted on the electronic bulletin. Her daily job doesn't end at 5 o'clock, and yet she always has a smile, and she is known for her contagious laugh. So if you haven't guessed who it is yet, it's Jessica Jakes. If you've read tonight's program booklet, you know that Jessica began her Worcester career in 2006 while joining the Cable Service Division. Her current title is Operations Specialist, and she is responsible for assisting in the management of the city's government access channel, Charter Cable Channel 12, covering and editing events, programming videos and schedules, uploading messages onto the electronic bulletin board, and according to one of the folks that nominated her, basically said that she takes pride in the creation of programming and public service announcements showcasing all of the great that takes place here in Worcester. Now, for what's not in the program book, I had a chance to chat with Jessica, and she basically said that after college she had 2 part-time positions. One was in Sutton with the local cable service, and the other one was her hometown of Grafton as a mail carrier. And she basically said that today she could be that mail carrier had it not been for Worcester to recognize who she was and to offer her a full-time job. So congratulations to Worcester. Jessica's role as the operations specialist requires her time, yet colleagues describe her as someone who is friendly, helpful, enthusiastic, and has a cooperative attitude towards the public and fellow employees. Jessica shared that room 409 at City Hall is the place to visit if someone needs a laugh or you just need a good pick-me-up. They know how to balance work and fun, so a great place to be. Her director, Judy Warren, praised Jessica for always having a positive attitude and a smile on her face. She shared that Jessica is exceptionally competent and efficient in handling all of her assigned responsibilities. She recalled Jessica's initiative in handling a citizen's cable complaint that was more than a billing glitch. The gentleman, unfortunately, had fallen through the cracks and was in need of social service intervention. Jessica contacted all the appropriate departments to assist the citizen. Even today, she'll say, no big deal, just her job, but it is a big deal, and we thank you. Jessica, I would just like to say that I would like to echo the praises shared by others. I have found you to be a very upbeat and honestly just full of life and just somebody so fun to have here at the City of Worcester. So when I come to visit, I know I'll be at 409 to say hello. Let's see, her director, Judy Warren, well, I should mention that when I asked Jessica to talk about the cable service department, she basically went quickly to her coworkers just to give them the praise. She pointed out that Judy Warren has oodles of great ideas. Her coworker Sean, with his low attitude, just kind of keeps everything at an easy pace, reduces any tension that might flare up, and it really allows Jessica the time to put on her creative hat and allow her to do the editing, and the majority of the programs aired. I should say there's not just a party of 3 in that department, there's actually 4 now because they have an intern who's doing the administration work helping Jessica and doing a great job, I'm told. Jessica's love for television came on at an early age, and she has that passion every day being with the Cable Service Division. She loves the creativity, and the editing allows her to do what she loves to do. And she's basically said that her job is like a puzzle. You get to take all the pieces, these video clips, and you get to put it together and make a creative video. Well, she makes it sound so easy, but I know that when I do a puzzle, there's always that one missing piece. So really, kudos to you, Jessica, to do that. Her creativity hasn't gone unnoticed. In August of 2012, Jessica was awarded Best Government Access Promo, Worcester Government Channel, by the Alliance for the Community Media, which is an international association of peers in the public education and government access. Your booklet mentions Jessica is a critical resource in the creation of innovating public service announcements, presentations, and city programming. Her creativity can be seen in a humorous blue JetBlue video, Call Me Maybe, and I watched it, and it's absolutely spectacular, and it's great to see the mayor and Tim in that climbing a rock, so if you have not seen it, please do. And I think the rock piece was just maybe what had JetBlue saying yes to Worcester. On her free time, I don't really know where she finds the free time, but when she does, she's been known to support the Boston Marathon Jimmy Fund walk for Dana-Farber. She has given her time to educate the public on the benefits of reflexology, and she has helped local high school students preserve the history of transferring the oral history of Water Farm in Sutton onto DVDs. So please join me in welcoming Jessica Jakes for the Thomas S. Green Award.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Joanne, for that beautiful introduction. Well, my view is slightly different this year. Typically, I'm behind the camera, in the back of the room, looking up at the person standing here. I never imagined I'd be the person standing up here, accepting the award. Having attended the previous 7 Thomas S. Green ceremonies, I know the high standards set by the winners, and now to be in their company is one of the greatest achievements of my life. I'd like to thank the Research Bureau, both the board members and the staff, for putting this event together, and to the Thomas Green Awards Committee for including me in the company of these amazing women. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you to the mayor, city manager, and superintendent for your kind words, to Michael Trainer and Tim McGurthy for your constant support of cable services, to Heather Gould for nominating me, to Mike Marcy and Don Scoglin for writing letters in support of my nomination, to the distinguished guests, city and elected officials who are here to celebrate with all of us this evening. All of you, myself, and everyone honored here tonight are here for the same reason. We all love Worcester. We all want to make the city the best it can be. Thank you for recognizing that in me and in us. I am a TV addict. I'll admit it. I have been hooked since I heard the song, "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood." And I have not looked back. I love that I can make TV programs for the city I live in. But there is one thing I love a little bit more, and that is helping people. I feel I'm up here for that reason, because when I'm doing my job, assisting my friends and family, volunteering my time, when I do those things, I'm helping someone, and that brings me joy. I also wouldn't be up here without being able to accept help from a great many people. First, to the people I work with in the city, thank you for helping me to do my job well. To my department, Cable Services, Judy Warren, and my coworker, Sean Foley, we really do make the best team because we are like a family. We laugh, we fight, we make up, we pull together when we need to, and we support each other without waver. To my friends and family who came to support me tonight, having all of you to talk to on good days, bad days, and everything in between re-energizes me to come to work and be the best me I can be. Finally, to the 2 I share my life with, Dawn and Baby, my cat. Well, Baby isn't here tonight, so I'll just skip right to Dawn, but Baby really is very important. Dawn, my friend, my sister, my life, thank you for standing by me not only for the past 7.5 years at the city, but for the past 12 years we've known each other, for being my biggest cheerleader, my biggest reality check, and my rock in a sea of chaos. I wouldn't be here without you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jess. And finally, Neil Castronovo of Assumption College will introduce Julie Lynch.
Well, unlike the person who's introducing our final candidate tonight, this candidate is very uncomfortable being in the spotlight. And she'd much rather be doing the work she does every day, day in and day out. And I think that's what primarily makes her such a worthy recipient of this award. There's been a lot of buzz here tonight about Worcester's Skyline Drive. We've heard a lot about Worcester Tech High School. I have the honor of introducing this next recipient of this year's Thomas Green Unsung Hero Award, Julie Lynch, whose place of work is at the top of Skyline Drive, just beyond Worcester Tech, in the building that Worcester Department of Public Works and Parks shares with the Massachusetts National Guard. I had not met Julie prior to her receiving this award, and on a sunny, cold February 12th day, I drove up to the top of Skyline Drive and went in to get into her office to get to know her. And if you've ever visited this site, you're aware that there's not too much buzz about this building. After winding my way around inside the building, I walked into this very large room where, entering the Architectural Service Division, I found Julie and her colleagues in their office, which is a large, crowded room, which they all share. It's immediately obvious that these are a group of dedicated, busy professionals who work their magic in a very humble setting. The real buzz of this division is clearly the people who work there. Julie introduced me to her colleagues, who were obviously thrilled with her recognition for this award. In describing the theme of the work they do, one of her colleagues, Chuck, who's here tonight to celebrate with Julie, and who is from the Southlands, described the theme of the work they do as turning sow's ears into silk purses. After meeting with Julie and her colleagues, it became clear that this theme expressed well the work that they do for the city of Worcester. Julie is a registered professional architect, and after little more than 7 years of service to the Worcester Department of Public Works and Parks, she was recently promoted to professional architect in the Architectural Services Office. Prior to meeting Julie, I was really quite unfamiliar with the long and winding road that it is to become a registered architect. Julie received her bachelor's degree from UMass Amherst and her master's in architecture from SUNY Buffalo. After all of this education, before sitting for the exam for registration, the candidate must also participate in 3 more years of internship experience. Julie says that the person who inspired her passion for this field was her father, who is a graphic artist. She recalls having a passion for drafting and drawing. As many professionals have experienced whose career paths entailed many years of education and preparation, Julie recalls that her first job in Boston between her undergraduate and graduate programs netted an income that was lower than the salaries of people working in McDonald's. Clearly, money has not been a driving motivational force in Julie's vocational pursuits. After completing her master's degree, Julie went on a summer exchange program in Germany and intended to spend only 1 semester there. She met her future husband there and spent the next 12 and a half years in Germany, doing some architectural projects with the Army until Germany's booming economy hit a snag. She then helped her husband run his cafe business. And while in Germany, her 2 sons were born. When she returned to the United States, Julie did architectural work on high-end residential homes in Concord, Massachusetts, but she didn't find this work very rewarding. In 2005, she saw an ad for an architect's position in Worcester's Department of Public Works, and she applied. Lucky for Worcester, she was hired, and the rest is history. When I asked Julie what motivates her and what she most likes about her work, she said that she wants to make a difference. She finds the variety of her work rewarding. What most surprises her about her work is the amount of paperwork and bureaucracy. But with a smile of acceptance, she said, "But that's just the way it is, even though it's not always very logical." She estimated that only about 10% of her work is in design. Her work demands the ability to work collaboratively with potential bidders, contractors, and the people who will eventually inhabit the buildings she works on. Bidding processes can be stressful and complicated, and she's no stranger to being the recipient of contractors screaming at her. I'm pleased that you're going to get the opportunity to hear from her yourself. I think you'll experience her as I did, as a steel magnolia. Those who work with Julie find her wonderful to work with, accessible, visionary, but also very focused and determined to get the work done, and also to get the work done with very limited resources. Her supervisor describes her as one of the key go-to people in the Architectural Services Division, working tirelessly on her tasks, sometimes into the evenings and weekends if necessary. Her colleagues describe her as both hardworking and caring. One of the nice things about being an architect, I think, is that you can visibly see the results of your work. Julie takes satisfaction in working with people who will be inhabiting and using the buildings she works on. In her first job for the city, she worked with the Worcester Police Department in developing a structure to support the latent print unit, which required a complicated interior space that needed to pass criteria for certification. She's worked on numerous renovation projects in several of the public school buildings in Worcester. Her most significant schoolwork project was on the new North High School project, after which she was assigned to the lead position for the ongoing renovation project at the DPW&P headquarters at 20 East Worcester Street. She takes a special interest in phased projects, such as the Green Hill Golf Course Clubhouse, which started with plans for a new deck, but with working with students from Technical High School, took years to complete and resulted in a very successful bid for a restaurant. There are future plans for work with other schools here in Worcester. Presently, as has been mentioned, she's working on plans for the new Nelson Place School, which requires new state stipulations and detailed paperwork. Whatever it takes, Julie takes on the necessary tasks to see the project through to completion. Regardless of the size or scope of the project, Julie knows that the results will have a positive and lasting impact on those who will make use of these buildings. When I asked Julie what she's most proud of, she immediately said her 2 sons. When I asked her about what she's most proud of in her work, she said she doesn't look back on past projects, but ahead to the next challenge. After some significant family challenges, Julie has declared 2014 as her year of fun. She enjoys time with her 2 sons and her extended family and enjoys visits to the Worcester Art Museum and cross-country skiing. While she doesn't see the acquisition of the International Pritzker Architectural Prize, I just found out that's what it was, coming her way in the very near future, Julie does delight in continuing to work with her colleagues in transforming sow's ears into silk purses right here in Worcester, Massachusetts. If indeed what motivates Julie is to make a difference, we here can attest to the difference her presence and her work have made to the city of Worcester. We thank you, Julie, for choosing to share your gifts with our city and for making a difference in the quality of the city's life. Our hope is that you will continue to ply your trade with us for many years to come. Congratulations and best wishes.
Hi, everyone. I don't think it's a mistake that the psychologist from Assumption was the person that would be interviewing me. I just want to take a minute and say thank you so much to the Research Bureau for having this celebration tonight, that we can all just take a few minutes and step back and look at our work collectively, because as we all heard from everyone tonight, we don't get there alone. And so I want to thank the city family that's here tonight, the city councilors, the mayor, the city manager, and thank Bob Moylan as well for this nomination. He has given me such great leadership and perspective on how to move forward with the city and get things done. And that's a lesson we all need to learn as we come in and work for the city. I also want to thank the people that I'm working with every day and working for every day, and the support that they've all given me, both personally and professionally through the years. They are very dear to my heart. And unfortunately, my family can't be here with me today, but a big thanks goes out to them as well. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Julie. And I just want to congratulate all of the awardees and thank them because, as Neil mentioned, it is a gift back to the community for the work you do, and we appreciate it. And we hope you realize that with this small token of our appreciation, that how important it is. I also want to rectify a small mistake. I'll put it down as a rookie mistake. I started a list and realized there's no way I'll ever be able to finish it. There are plenty of other public officials from both the city and the public schools here in the audience. So rather than go through everyone one by one, some of whom Paul, Joe, that I had spoken with briefly, if everybody who works for either the city or the public schools could stand up and just get appreciated. So thank you. Thank you very much for coming out. Thank you for showing your support. Keep in touch with us, the Research Bureau. You can find us on WRRB.org, or we're now on Facebook and Twitter, so follow along, like us. But thank you for supporting our efforts to kind of recognize and promote good governance and policy here in Worcester. Assumption College has generously provided a small reception for after the event right across the hall, if everybody could join us there and toast the winners. So thank you very much.